back, everybody. Appreciate you being with us. We are with Jeremiah Campbell from Brickworks Property Restoration, and we're going to run out of time before we run out of information. Jeremiah, you talked about an inspection that Brickworks can do for people. You want to flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we do all sorts of inspections. You know, when it comes to your foundation, we can do a engineer-approved inspection. What does that mean? That means that we're going to come out there. We have about 15 different diagrams from different products that we can install based upon the solution that your house needs. That's your foundation inspections. Your regular brick and masonry inspections, that's what my sales reps are trained in to specialize in. Any kind of chips, brick, cracks, things falling apart, that's what we're there to do. When it comes to your chimney inspection, that was one of the, and I believe that's what you were alluding to.
Yes.
Is the chimney inspection. So it's a level 2 chimney inspection and sweep, right?
Level 2.
Level 2, yeah. CSIA classifies
sweep?
it. Yeah, sweep. It classes it in 3 different categories, right?
Okay.
And so a lot of times what will happen is somebody will go out there and do a sweep, but they don't actually send a camera up there. The camera is the most important part of the inspection, in my opinion. It's going to show you any gaps, cracks, or any imperfections that are done inside. You can't see that. You can't see it, so you don't understand the hidden dangers. Any kind of gap or crack in between a flue, what happens? It's creosote. It'll just leach directly through it. So I love the straw analogy.
Well, what is creosote?
Creosote,
fuel.
It's
Thanks
fuel.
for asking.
Exactly. It's a byproduct of the combustion
Almost
from the
pure
wood.
carbon.
Pure carbon. Extremely flammable. There's several different types of creosote. You have the powdery, that what is most common. Then you have the like a
People call
tar.
soot.
Yes, a tar type.
Yep.
And then there's the shiny type. Types 1, 2, 3. And so and you can't see that unless you stick a camera up there. So if you have a straw and you're eating lunch right now and you take your straw and you cut it into 15 different pieces, put a gap in between it, how well is it going to work? That's what's happening to your chimney.
Good point.
And so each one of your flue sections has a gap between them. So it's drawing. Chimneys work from a pressure change and a temperature change from the bottom to the top. So the taller it is, the higher, the more pressure, and the hotter it goes, the hotter, just like a hot air balloon.
Yep.
Well, if you have gaps and cracks, what it does is it pulls through the cracks. And as it pulls through the cracks, it brings creosote with it. It's also going to bring embers. And once that starts fire, once that spark ignites,
You can't stop it.
can't stop it. There's literally, you can't stop it. They have to knock the chimney off the side of the house in order to stop that. So those are some of the, and every one of my sales reps that are going to go out to your house, you know, they all have cameras in their trucks to do these inspections. And we're more than willing for any one of your listeners that gives us a call to go out there at no charge. We usually charge $179 for no charge. We're going to come out to your customers and stick a camera up their chimney to verify that it's safe to burn.
Do I get to see those pictures?
And you can sit there right there with us, absolutely, and we can send them to
I'm
you.
scared of you guys discovering that I got all kinds of problems you got to fix.
Yeah, you know, ostrich syndrome works sometimes in this situation for the health of your home and your family.
The head in the sand.
Yeah.
So, Jeremiah, how can somebody tell that they have issues with their chimney?
Fireplace or chimney?
Let's do both.
Okay, so with a fireplace, if you're burning fire and you're burning and you have any kind of open flame, the same codes apply. Take a white paper towel and wipe above your fireplace. And then if there's any black creosote on there, there's
on the room side?
On the room side, yeah. Just wipe the wall, see if you can pull any of the creosote, anything off of the wall. If you can, you know it's not properly venting. That's the easiest way. When it comes to your chimney on the outside of the house, it's as simple. Walk around the house and look up. Does it look normal? What does normal look like? Is there any imperfections, gaps, cracks, any kind of staining? When it rains, does it stay wet for longer periods of time? Can you notice any cracks from the caps? Is the spark arrestor or the bird cage on top, is that still intact and in good shape? Or can you hear things? From the inside, is your damper properly opening and closing? Or is it rusted shut? A lot of times the levers,
they're all warped.
They're all warped. Because that's the way that they were designed.
Yeah.
And so, we can put high efficiency dampers on the top. Kind of works like a.
Those are huge. I want you to take a second. I don't mean to interrupt you, but those are huge for what you're talking about. A damper on top of the flue solves so many problems for homeowners, doesn't it?
Yes.
Seals up.
Yep.
Don't got to worry about the warping anymore, and that will actually help with their energy as well in the house.
Yeah, so essentially you have a steel plate that's sitting there. It's sitting on top of what? Another steel plate. So it's kind of like trying to plug the sewer or the sewer in front of the house. You take a piece of wood and throw it over it. Yeah, maybe it'll stop a little bit, but it's not actually going to stop. Well, how about the seal? How about the seal on your oven? How well does that work?
Yeah.
Pretty well. extremely well. So the top mount damper is essentially the exact same seal that you're going to have on your oven. And it's a cable that drops down and it'll completely seal it off.
And it's huge too, because where do birds like to keep warm? The top of those. And because they're sealed off, you never have a chance of. I tell the story of when I was a kid. I go downstairs in my basement. We had the glass doors in front of our fireplace.
Yeah.
Literally, it looked like a 20-pound raccoon was a foot and a half away from me. Thank goodness there was glass. Crawled down.
You thought you were at the zoo.
Yeah, and those work so much better than the critter cages.
Yes.
Because they seal it off permanently.
Correct. Just don't forget to open it when you have a fire.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you really can't miss it. I mean, it's right there. But you're right.
You know the shoe cobbler. His kids always have bad shoes. I'm dealing with smoke damage in my house as we speak.
We get it.
Are you really?
As we speak, because my wife and kids would turn the fireplace on and forget to open the damper. I literally
Now,
the
you
chimney
made a
guy.
twisting motion. You have a
So
screw
did you
type
make-
damper?
Yeah, gas. Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you make a sign there? No women or people under 20 can touch this.
Oh, she didn't believe it. She's like, I didn't do that. I was like, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, darling.
You've been married
Yes.
long enough.
We'll
Yep.
just get it fixed. So if you're out there and you discover that I've got issues, what's the next step?
And the next step is to diagnose the actual problem so we can find the proper solution. So when we're out there, myself or anybody that's coming out to your house is going to have the technology and all of the information at their fingertips to provide multiple solutions to you so we can get it fixed on time and on budget.
One of your solutions is to reline
Yep.
that chimney liner. How do you do that?
Yeah, Heat Shield's an amazing product. We were actually the first authorized dealer in the state of Michigan for Heat Shield. We've been at a partnership with them for almost 15 years, and it's almost a slip casting. So essentially, it's a cork that drops down inside of it. We dump these it's called C-Fractory mortar down inside of it, and we crank it up. And as it comes up, it fills all the gaps and cracks, and it
pushes
relines
it
it
in.
exactly, shoves it right in the walls, any kind of gaps or cracks that are in there, any imperfections, and it creates a frictionless venting system.
But that has to be very clean before you can do that. Do you do the chimney cleaning?
Absolutely. Yeah, we go in there, we make sure. And so with the camera inspection, then we can find out if we have to do a chemical cleaning. Because if you're dealing with, creosote levels 2 or 3, what's going to happen is you can't sweep those with the regular sweeping methods. That's either with a chain or with ropes. So what you actually have to do is you have to do a
You're not
chemical.
going to lower a young boy down in there?
You know what? I'm trying to look for those little ones. That's the customers. Well, can't you just? And I'm like, you do know I have to get somebody up there. Like, I don't own a 3-inch man that can sneak in. Like,
Did you ever hear where the phrase "light a fire" under them come from?
no.
From the chimney sweeps in England. They'd use little kids to do the chimney, to literally get down inside the chimneys. And if they were taking too long, what would they do? They'd light a fire underneath them.
What?
Get them to move out.
I had no idea.
They actually modified the laws and shrunk the flues after that, because the flues were used to be huge, as you can well imagine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
crazy stuff. So does any of this stuff ever require financing? I mean, not all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we because we've been in business so long, we have some of the best financing options in the actual industry. So right now, we like I say for a heat shield, for instance, we can do a heat shield for as low as $129 a month.
Really?
Yeah, really. We have no interest, no payments for the first 6 months. We have no interest for 12 months, the same as cash option, and we can lock you in at a super low rate, seeing the terms that we have now in the market.
Sure.
A low rate for 10 to 12 years.
Wow.
Let's talk about the sealers for a second, Jeremiah,
Yeah.
because for so many years, we just weren't bother sealing chimneys or any kind of brick because the sealer wasn't good enough back then. We didn't trust it, and if we did put it on, it'd be a non-breathable oil
Topical,
base
yep,
or
yep.
chemical base. The sealers they have now are so much better, because what we used to see is they would put a sealer on a chimney, but it wasn't a breathable chimney, so it'd actually do more damage to the chimney in the long run. I'm sure you saw that too.
Turn yellow.
What do your sealers that you use today do?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the coolest part about our sealers is any one of our sales reps that come out, we have a bubbler a display. So any one of our reps come out there, and I want you guys to specifically ask the listeners right now, I want you to ask your salesman as we come out there to show you the bubbler test. And it's actually, it's a hose that's connected. And it actually, you'll see the water sitting on top, not penetrating. So there's a product, one of the biggest products is called Siloxane. And it works like wax on a car, yet still allows it to breathe. It's a breathable vapor barrier. So most people don't understand or realize that siding and brick on the side of a home is not a waterproofing. It's a damp damp proofing. It helps wick the water away, but the actual way to waterproof it is the drainage plane behind it. Your Tyvek, whatever you're going to use to allow the water to, you have to give place for water to exit. So most buildings, if not almost all lawsuits, come from water damage.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, I mean, a sealer can't be the only answer. People say, I have a leak. We'll seal it, it'll take care of it. No, there's something else causing it.
Yeah, we don't ever do that. I mean, any one of our products, just like with our concrete, we're sealing all concrete. And then I'm going to go back into the sealer after this.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, we're going to continue this conversation. And also, Brickworks has some community awareness events that they're sponsoring, along with maybe some chimney and porch giveaway, right?
Yes,
Giveaways.
sir.
We'll talk about that when we get back with the next segment with Brickworks Property Restoration, only on AM 760 WJR.
Brickworks Property Restoration for all your brick and concrete needs.